From Springfield Technical Community College, free hot buffet right after the show, it's Prime Time with George Dorunda. Tonight, WWBA player Dana Rogers, more animals at Southwick'S Zoo, plus Reflection and the Jimmy STURR Band. So get ready for the most entertaining show on television. Hi, I'm George Dorunda, and welcome to Prime Time. And what a show we have for you here tonight. We're here at Springfield Technical Community College, or STIC, as we call it in the industry. And you know, Bill Clinton just this morning announced that he is not going to let partisan politics, he will not allow partisan politics, not at all, to interfere with the running of his administration and his economic policies. What this really means is he's willing to now date Republicans. Well, anyway, we also, as a bonus to you, the home viewers, we have Doug Locke, our primetime correspondent for today. He's down at Bradley International Airport, and I guess he's going to be talking to some people on there. He's waiting for the Pope to arrive. And, well, let's see if we can check into him. Doug, can you hear me, Doug? Doug, Doug, can you hear me? Doug, are you there? Doug! Well, obviously there's a problem with our satellite feed. So let's move on with the program. We'll check back in with Doug a little later. Here is Reflection to perform Hungry Eyes.
I've been meaning to tell you
Yes, that was Reflection and Hungry Thighs. I mean Hungry Eyes. And I was right. Should never let the guests play with the Christmas decorations or garland before they perform. And anyway, let's check back in with Doug. Doug, are you there? Can you hear me, Doug? Well, we have a problem with our satellite feed, or maybe we have a problem with Doug. Maybe Doug should stay off the Crystal Pepsi. And well, we'll be right back after we get Doug some oxygen.
He protects all living things in the forest. But he can't do it alone. Please don't play with matches. Put out your campfires. And never, ever forget the words of Smokey Bear.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
Welcome back to the big program, and well, hey, before we go on, let's check with Doug. Doug, are you there? No, Doug. Doug, can you hear me? Punch that back up there. It's nights like this that make me wish I was being paid by the decibel. But hey, my next guest is a professional basketball player with the WWBA. It's a pleasure to welcome to Primetime, Dana Rogers. Well, Dana, welcome to Primetime.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here. And tell us a little bit about your career. You're going into the WWF. No, that's the other organization.
WWBA.
WWBA.
Uh-huh.
And how long has this organization been around?
It's only been around as of January. It's just newly organized, and hoping to get organized and off the ground. Something they've wanted to do for a long time. There's never been an opportunity for women to play pro ball in the United States. They'd have to go overseas out of college to play ball after their college career. So this is just an opportunity for women to play in the United States rather than having to go overseas.
So this is the first pro league for women in the country?
No, they tried a league 4 to 5 years ago, and it failed mainly because they ran it during the regular season as college and pro ball for men and women. And it was very hard to compete for fans and crowd support with all the other games going on. Plus they were paying the players incredible salaries, and they couldn't keep up with the financial aspects of it, so they had to fold. So they're going about it this time with a whole different frame of mind. And they're not signing $1.2 million contracts. And we're running it in the off season, April through August, just hoping to get it going.
Don't you feel that some of the salaries that these players are making are a little bit excessive?
I think they're extremely excessive, and it only creates greed, I think, and a lot of problems. I mean, you read a lot about players after their careers. They're either in major debt or they've got drug problems because they don't know how to spend all their money.
Yeah, too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
Now tell us about your career. How did you get involved in basketball?
Well, I started playing basketball when I was knee-high to the ground, as the saying goes.
What age was that?
I was about 4 or 5. I remember my family was
4 or 5,
always...
some kids aren't even walking at 4 or 5.
Well, I remember watching the pro games on TV. Those guys were my idols, and I'd go out in the driveway when my dad had set up a basketball hoop, and I would try to imitate him. And my dad and his friend would just sit there and laugh at me because it was pretty hilarious. It was all I could do to throw the ball up with 2 hands. But as the years went on, I was finally able to throw the ball and make the basket. So then I played organized basketball as a 7th grade. I had some great coaching. I learned all the fundamentals. That was in a little small town in the Panhandle of Oklahoma, Guyman. And then I went on to junior college, where I played in Neosho, Missouri, Crowder College. We were ranked in the top 3 all season long. Very good team, very good coach here too. And from there I went to the Olympic Training Center after my freshman year at college and was invited to try out for the Pan American team. And I was only 19 and it was really hard for me because I was still really inexperienced at the collegiate level. So it was a good experience going to the Olympic Training Center. And then from there I went to Oklahoma State after a couple of knee operations. And
So you have had some injuries along the way?
yeah, I have. I've had 3 knee operations. A major ankle problem, which I got it straightened out. I've had my wrist fractured. Combination of 2 different falls. One was from rollerblading, and as it was healing, I fell walking out of work on the snow. So it was fractured twice, but I'm healthy now.
So you're ready for that championship season?
I definitely am. I can't wait. I'm really excited about it.
Now, how does this league differ from other women's leagues, like women's leagues in college?
I think people are going to find that the style of play is going to be a lot more aggressive, and a lot more quick pace. It's going to have a quicker pace.
Is it as upbeat as the NBA?
To be honest, I think the NBA, it doesn't really interest me that much because I feel like after they play umpteen 100 games every year, that it's hard for them to keep their intensity level up. Whereas in college, I think the intensity level is there because every single game counts. Whereas in the pros, they play so many games, it's hard to give 110% for each and every game. So I think that people are going to find the women's pro game is going to be very fast-paced or wanting us to average 130 points a game. It's going to be a lot of running. And from the tryouts, I can see that it's going to be very demanding. You have to be in very good physical condition to play.
But what do you do for training on a regular basis?
Well, I play a lot of hoop, of course, and I come upstairs and I do about an hour on the Stairmaster. I run anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes on the treadmill. Try to average 7 to 8 minute miles when I run, and I usually run 3 to 4 miles 5 days a week. Then I cycle extensively, try to do 15 miles or so every other day on the bike. And do some weightlifting, not a lot. Probably should do more, but I don't really enjoy it that much. So other than that, that helps me keep in shape because I usually end up working up here for an hour and a half, 2 hours, and playing ball as well. So you got to get ready for this.
So you're definitely in shape, and we have some local figures around here, certain male participants of the game, and they said they'd never be taken by a woman.
Oh yeah?
So could we issue a challenge? Look right into the camera.
Well, if
Are we taking on all comers?
taking on all comers.
Name your stakes.
Well, as far as what? Money?
As far as money, right?
Well, if they feel like they can take me on, let's go to it.
Confidence, that's what I like, confidence. Is there more physical contact in this game as opposed to a college level game?
Definitely, I think. It's a lot, from the tryouts I can see that it was a lot more physical aggression in the college game, but nowadays they're getting it very rough in college as well. It's getting to be where there's no holds barred. It's very intense.
Now, when you were growing up, when you were knee high to a grasshopper in those early stages, did you ever think you'd be doing it professionally?
It was always a dream of mine to reach that level, but there was never the opportunity for women, and I was a little puzzled by that. It seemed like men had the way pay for them, and women have to really work to get to that level. I'd say my number one goal in life as I was growing up was to be a member of the Olympic team, to play for my country. That was my number one goal and dream, and who knows, it can come true. I mean, if this league is successful and I do well, then there may be an opportunity to try out for the next Olympic team.
How long do you see yourself doing this?
I hope for at least 4 years, 3 to 4 years, and I want to stay involved with the WWBA to help them expand and grow. I'm in sales and marketing, so I'd like to help them out. You know,
So after your playing career, you could move into the front office?
Yeah, that's what I'd like to do, either that or be a scout. And currently, I do some work on the side with the youth. I give lessons, one-to-one, teach them a proper way to shoot the ball, teach them some fundamentals, ball handling drills, dribbling drills, just things to improve their game. A lot of parents feel like their kids are talented, but they don't really have someone to work closely with them, so I do that on the side. I really enjoy it too. Very rewarding.
When I was here the other night watching you play, I believe you were the only female on the court. How do the other men on the team react to you? The ones you're playing with and the ones you're playing against?
I think they like it. At first, I think they were very skeptical. They were afraid to be aggressive. They didn't want to hurt me, per se. Once they found out that I could shoot and that I was aggressive, then I would play. And in fact, sometimes too aggressive, that they just, it didn't bother them anymore. And now they just treat me as one of the guys. And I really have a good time out there, and they're really nice guys to play ball with. I mean, not all the times, but most of the time they're very accommodating. And believe me, there's been some times when I've ate my share of balls when they block my shots, but I don't mind that. You know, I just kind of take it in stride because
it's part of the game.
It's part of the game, and I learn from it. And I learn that I need to fake a little more. There's something I didn't do with my technique quite right that they block my shots. So the next time I go down the court, it helps me improve.
And what would you want to say to all the young kids just starting out?
Follow your dreams and don't give up, because who knows? You know, if you keep dreaming, someday they could come true.
Like your dream has come true.
That's right.
Well, Dana, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here, and you're welcome back anytime. And stick around, we'll be back with more of the big program right after this. Don't go away.
This doesn't scare you. Just wait.
The doctor will see you now.
One night a year ago, Vanessa got high with some guy and forgot everything she learned about preventing AIDS. Now her life is the horror show. AIDS. Another way drugs can kill.
Yes, welcome back to the big program. And I don't know if any of you have heard, but Chad, Matthews, Nentwig, all three of them, well, they've quit doing the show New Dimensions. New Dimensions is on permanent hiatus. It no longer exists. And I was talking with Chad earlier, and he said that now that he has all of this additional free time ahead of him, he'll probably work on a book. Maybe something by Stephen King. Hey, let's check back in with Doug. Doug, are you there, Doug? Can you hear me?
Wax on, wax off.
Ooh, maybe we have a problem here. Punch that up again. You know, I think Doug has seen too many Karate Kid movies. But hey, let's head out to Southwick Zoo. We're gonna look at more wonderful animals with our friend Tina. And this is our friend, Mr. Chinchilla.
Yeah, Cheesecake the Chinchilla.
Cheesecake?
Mm-hmm.
And earlier I saw him, he was in a jar. Why was he in a jar?
Because he feels safe and comfortable in the jar. In the wild, they sleep in between the rocks up in the mountains and stuff. So,
So you would normally find them tucked away somewhere?
yes.
Or in a jar. Chinchilla in a jar, new from Kraft.
Yep.
And is he really soft?
Yes.
Oh, this is like
It's coat.
one of those super fuzzy blankets you have in the wintertime.
Stay soft from cornstarch. In the wild, they would rub the rocks to make a dust, and they roll in the dust. They don't clean themselves in water. They clean themselves in dust.
So this guy never takes a bath.
No, except in cornstarch.
And he rolls around in cornstarch.
Yes, and that's what keeps them clean and soft.
And what does he eat?
He eats sunflower seeds, pellets, and all kinds of fruits and vegetables.
Is this about as old as he'll get? As big as he'll get. Hopefully he'll get a lot older.
No, this is as big as he gets, and they only live to be about 8 years old. He's 6.
He's 6. Mm-hmm. So he's a senior citizen right now.
Yeah. Yeah, he sure is. They breed a lot better in captivity, and you can find them anywhere in the United States, in any pet store. Very expensive to buy, though. Mostly raised for their coats. Takes about 150 of them to make one coat.
150 of these guys.
Yeah, to make one coat. They're timid, but they make pretty good pets. They sleep all day, but they're up all night.
So if you're a night person,
Great pet.
and if you're a day person, well,
Put it in another room.
better buy a cat.
Yeah.
And you even have dogs here at the Southwick Zoo,
No, this
or
is
SOUTHWICK'S Zoo.
Nope.
You even have dogs here.
Roger Rabbit.
Roger Rabbit. This is a rabbit.
Yes, this is an English Angora rabbit.
Why does he look like a dog?
Because it's all his fur. They're mainly used for shows, for their fur.
So these are specialty type rabbits.
Yes, you won't find them in the wild. They wouldn't be able to survive in the wild with all their fur this way. They were bred this way.
So it's been inbred generation after generation. And what do these guys eat? Carrots?
Carrots, apples, rabbit pellets, lettuce, cauliflower, all fruits and vegetables.
And is he full grown?
Yes. Can't see his face. There you go.
Oh, yeah, it's tough to see his face.
Yeah, he's full grown. And I believe he was donated here.
I mean, does he ever bite, or is he
Now and then when he's scared.
scared right now?
Yeah, very scared.
He doesn't like the hot lights and
Probably not.
all this attention.
No. He's a show rabbit. He was anyway. And he wouldn't make a good pet unless you can sit with him day after day, combing him for hours. Because he'll get all knotted up if you don't.
Yes, more wonderful animals at Southwick Zoo, and let's see if we can check in with Doug again. Doug, are you there?
For Christmas, I want a big airplane, just like that one. Please, please, I want an airplane.
I don't quite understand this. Doug, is something wrong? Can you hear me?
Thank you, Marcia.
You know, this whole satellite experiment just doesn't seem to be working out. Hey, somebody get Doug out of the hot sun! I think his mind is frying out there in the hot sun. We'll check back in with him a little later. By the way, outside props. Dan Boyle, responsible for all of our outside props exclusively here on Primetime. Next time, Dan, though, make sure the box is filled with all sorts of goodies. That would be appreciated immensely. And hey, it's that time of the program. The 6-time Grammy Award winner, Jimmy STURR, and the Jimmy STURR Band. Yes! Yes, Jimmy STURR and the Jimmy STURR Band, and let's go for it one more time. Doug, are you there, Doug? Can you hear me? I don't know, I think he's helping them land planes or something. Hey, thanks for tuning in. This concludes our rehearsal. Good night, everyone.
And fellow mountain goats, this year's recipient of the treasured Black Horn Award, Richard Lynch. Come on up here, Dick.
What are you doing this weekend that's so important you can't take a little time to test your home for radon? After all, it is the second leading cause of lung cancer, and a radon test kit is inexpensive. You could pick one up on your way to the lodge.
Each year, 500,000 people have strokes, but it doesn't have to mean the end of their lives or their lifestyles. Find out the warning signs of stroke from your American Heart Association. It could help you get back into the swing of things.
You know, Piggy, everybody's trying to save energy. What can we do?
Don't waste electricity.
You can make a difference. Write National Wildlife Federation, Washington, D.C. 20036.